Please take your seats. Graduands, our Honorary Graduate George Dunn, our Alumni Speaker Hakeem Ojo, our Honorary Fellows, including my predecessor, Professor Wynne Jones, parents, carers, friends, supporters, distinguished guests and colleagues. Welcome to this very special occasion to mark the graduation for the Harper class of 2024. Many of you have had long journeys to be with us today, with some travelling from as far as the Far East, other regions of the world, and the different domains of the United Kingdom to be part of today's celebration. Thank you for taking the time and prioritising today. It is the most important day in the university calendar. Now, as today is a celebration, you should feel free to clap, shout, cheer, stamp, and do anything that helps you to celebrate the achievements of your classmates, family member, student, or friend. So let's test out your enthusiasm and volume by thanking the excellent musicians of Senate Brass who kept us entertained, and let's give them a round of applause. And then one final thing, give me a wave. Okay, it'll be on social media later, just work out if you can find yourself. So last year, when delving into the Harper Adams archive, we discovered a song and accompanying music which was written in 1902. It was rediscovered in a wonderful scrapbook compiled by the college's first principal, H.F. Folks, and it was the Harper College Song, and was written with music composed by the principal's wife, with lyrics by R.E.C. Burder, who was a staff member at the time. The song is titled Utile Dulci, still the university motto today, which is included in the coat of arms of every degree certificate that we will award. A popular translation from Latin of Utile Dulci is reaping rewards through hard work. Today, just before we began our procession into the marquee, you heard that music being played. I'll actually share some of the words with you later in this address. I can assure you, and perhaps more importantly, your families, that the words of Utile Dulci, the Harper song, is not the same as the Harper song that some of you sing on a Wednesday night in certain parts of Newport and other places. Discovering this song and its music has established a genuine and meaningful connection between how and when this institution was established in the early 1900s, what it has become, and what we celebrate today, which is you. Connecting the present time to our history reminds me of the experience I had almost every day when I was working in Australia before I moved to take up this job. At the start of every formal ceremony, like the one we celebrate today, I would be invited to say the following words. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands on which we meet and pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. In Australia, this is an important and poignant moment. It reminds the current occupiers of the lands, waterways, and natural resources that they were not always theirs. They were passed to them from many previous generations. It establishes a memory, but it also establishes accountability. To make sure that the generations ahead of them can access and benefit from the Earth's natural resources in the same way they can today, they have to carry that accountability. If anything, there is an obligation to make things better. If we reflect on the present time, how are we doing with the accountability to pay forward and steward the lands and natural resources for the benefit of generations to come? I could argue that the report card would probably say, must try harder. Urgent action is needed. From polluted waterways to unprecedented rises in global temperatures, from growing global inequity of access to food compared to the rapidly increasing food production, from the rapid onset of pest-borne diseases to the re-emergence of diseases that we all thought were well and truly gone over a century ago. For those still in doubt about global temperatures, track how hot it got in New Delhi this past year and compare it to any previous year, and the gap and the increase that was included. The step change was stark, and it made the living environment for many in that area completely unlivable. Our planet and its populations are signalling loudly that something needs to change, and something urgently needs to be done. Now, you may be wondering why I'm focused on such heavy matters at a time when we should be celebrating. Well, put simply, I'm an optimist, and this university, its staff, governors, students, graduates, alumni, and partners are what makes me optimistic. At a time when the world is in a state of geopolitical turmoil, environmental turbulence, and where we seem to hear more bad news than good, let me give you some reasons to be cheerful, some reasons to be optimistic. So my first reason to be cheerful and optimistic, the university from which you are graduating. Harper Adams as an institution was established through the generous bequest of its namesake, Thomas, to ensure that populations were given access to the skills and capabilities to keep agriculture and its related disciplines relevant. The employees and governors joining me on this platform, and the hundreds of academic, professional, and technical colleagues they represent, work to take on and answer some of the trickiest questions our planet and its populations face. They fulfill the responsibility of that original legacy every day, providing answers and implementable solutions to making a tangible difference to how and where we live. And the work you have done on your courses, in your HRPs, in your projects, in your theses, has also contributed to those solutions. The second reason to be cheerful is the work we're all part of, and that's including you as our soon-to-be newest graduates. Whether it's finding a just path to net zero, reducing the methane production of farm animals, improving nutrient density, tackling food waste, re-wetting peatland to make it productive once again, securing the highest standards of animal care and well-being, advancing the reach and impact of precision farming, tracking and mitigating the destructive impact of terrible diseases, and in some cases reversing them, developing models to establish financially and socially sustainable businesses, unleashing the power of data, promoting effective modes of regulation and governance. I could just go on and on. During your time here, the university and the Future Farm has made meaningful, tangible progress in tackling all of these challenges and has attained an unrivaled reputation for doing so. And your work has once again been an integral part of that. The third reason to be cheerful is how this university works. Our strategy is called Together, We Will Make the Difference. We work to be one of the most impactful universities in the UK, if not the world. Everything we do connects to a better lived experience for the earth and its inhabitants. We are not separate from society or aloof to it. We deliver everything through partnerships with industry partners, governments, charities, not-for-profit organisations, and through a partnership with you, our students, and soon to be our graduates. In your time here, you have made a meaningful difference through your studies, through being part of the Harper community, through your placements or your work experience, and through your willingness to make a difference. It is for all these reasons that the university was last year named the inaugural Sunday Times University of the Year as a specialist university, and retained its award voted by students for outstanding career prospects. We continue to deliver some of the best employability outcomes in the country, and we've achieved gold in the Teaching Excellence Framework and good in our first Ofsted inspection. So we have so much to be proud of. My final reason to be cheerful is sitting in front of me, and that's namely you, our soon-to-be graduates. Now, I have one major advantage over you at this moment in time. I can see almost all of your faces, and I can see those of the people who've come to support you. I can see looks of pride. I can see beaming smiles. I can see faces of apprehension, maybe even terror, at the thought of safely walking across this platform whilst keeping your mortarboard on your head, nodding to me, smiling, having a photograph taken, and keeping your shoes on. All I'm going to say is, I've just given you 4 challenges, try and get 3 of them right. But let me be unambiguous on one thing. I and every staff member and governor of this university could not be more proud of you. Many of you have secured scholarships provided through the generosity of our donors. Many of you have also won national and regional awards and prizes. There are too many to mention them all, but here are some. The Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors LPM Undergraduate, Postgraduate and Apprenticeship Awards to Georgie Lee, Ross Brooks and Maisie Evans, respectively. Lucy Fowler, who received the Society of Biology Top Student Award. In fact, some go on to win multiple awards, with Lucy Fowler and Imogen Old, who won the Worshipful Company of Farmer Prizes. Edward Allen, Harry Parsons, Katie Corner and Megan Rogers, who won Morrison's Sustainability Prizes. Gwyn Davis, who won the Harper Kimmerer Award. Harry Edwards and Joel Andrews, who won the British Society for Soil Prizes. And Ria Orton and Claudia Pearson, who won the Central Association of Agricultural Valuers Undergraduate Prizes. The list goes on and on and on. The full details of prizes are available, but please take the time to read it and really bask in your achievements. It's something to celebrate. Now, one of the most confronting things that can happen at university is when a student dies during their studies or in the time when they become a member of our alumni community. Their sad loss is felt by everyone in our community, especially their fellow students, those who taught them, those who supported them, and most importantly, their families. And I know everyone in this room has had this experience. I would like to pay a special and personal respect to the memory of those students and alumni that we have lost, and to recognize and to celebrate the contribution that they did make during their times at Harper Adams, which continues to develop and grow through the memories we have and the friendships that we created. We have grown a peace garden on campus, not far from the main university building, to be a place of reflection, helping us to connect everyone we have lost to the lands on which we study, work, and grow. And I would encourage anyone who's feeling a sense of loss to spend a bit of time in that peace garden and take your thoughts and your memories and share it with the land and the soil so that it stays as a permanent part of this institution. Today marks a new beginning. On graduation, you will be joining a community of over 10,000 alumni of Harper Adams. And like them, I hope you'll get involved in our alumni activities, including joining the social and development activities of the Harper Club, and continue to stay connected with the university and support our future generation of students. I hope to see you at events that happen in different parts of the country, if not the world. And when you are ready to refresh or extend your education and skills, I hope you will look to Harper Adams as a place where you can continue. And do remember that all alumni do get a discount on all future activities. We have tried to give a flavour of just some of the university's work and our ongoing connection with our alumni in the graduation brochure on each of your seats. And I hope you will take this away and digest it, but also, importantly, take it as a souvenir of this special day. I found my own graduation brochure only recently, and it brought home a whole raft of things that I didn't remember had happened. In your case, it includes a special mention and a message from our Chancellor, Her Royal Highness, the Princess Royal. After this ceremony, you might find yourself being photographed next to the Harper Wellies or the large yellow plus in the graduation village. The Harper Wellies are well known, and I would encourage you to make sure you get as many photos as you can. The yellow plus represents the impact that I know each one of you is going to make on the world during your careers, and highlights this university's role as an impact-driven institution. We're not a can-do university, we're a will-do university. And you are not can-do graduates, you are will-do graduates. And I look forward to seeing what you do with the energy, skills, and capabilities that you've got. So as the graduating class of 2024, you now take on the responsibility of our founder Thomas's vision And by continuing to engage with the university, I know that together we will make the difference. Do not be timid in your chosen professions. There is too much to do. There are too many challenges to solve. Be bold, take on those challenges, but most importantly, do what you've done while you've been here. Be brilliant. In return, Harper Adams will stand by your side throughout your career, hopefully welcoming you back to do something with us, or maybe even to present a scholarship that you've encouraged your company to fund, or the mentoring that you offer to do for our students. You could even be an alumni speaker here. But let the pride that we, your families and supporters, have in you today be a source of strength and comfort as you move forward. Importantly, and this is important, you should never feel alone. Stepping out from this close-knit community can be daunting and might feel lonely. If that is ever the case, reach out to this university at any point, and we will do something to break the silence for you. Before I finish, I have one final note of recognition and thanks to share. This ceremony marks the final one of our current Chair of Governors, Mr. Peter Nixon. Peter has served on the board of the university for 10 years and served as chair for 5 years. Like all governors, he is a volunteer. He has had a material and positive effect on your time at Harper, so please join me now in sharing a round of applause to say thank you. So Peter will be the last person you hear from in the ceremony today. He's also rather tall and somewhat noticeable. So when you see him, as he stands up, please give him an extra loud cheer and wish him well for the next stage of his time. We are deeply, deeply grateful for the support he gives to this university, and on a personal level, he was my Chair of Governors when I came into the job, and I will always be indebted to him. Thank you, Peter. So returning to where I started, I mentioned the music that we heard from the college song of 1902. Now, admittedly, not every word of that song would be seen as politically or culturally acceptable through the eyes of 2024. But much of the song is surprisingly foresighted, and I believe its spirit still resonates more than 1 century on. So to finish, I'd like to share the final section with you, but you'll be pleased to know I'm not going to sing it. So as we work and play together, may we always hold in view the motto, utile dulce, and the colours, gold and blue. Then as the day rolls onwards and that which was new grows old, those colours shall bind us together, those colours of blue and gold. And with that gold untarnished, and that blue without a stain, flouriet, Harper Adams, and win for yourself a name. It's now your turn, our graduates, to win for yourself a name, and we will be filled with pride, and we will travel with you at every stage of that journey. So let me end by just simply saying this. Congratulations to each and every one of you, and our best wishes to all of you for the next stage of your career. We're excited to see what you do, we're excited to see the difference you make, and we look forward to sharing and celebrating with you with absolute pride. I'm delighted to declare this graduation ceremony open.
It gives me great pleasure to award the degree of Certificate of Higher Education Studies to Brad Warden. gives me great pleasure to award the Foundation in Science degree to Caitlin Townley with distinction. Lucy Barker. Archie Benson. Harry Bowman. Isabel Darby. Will Downey. Tom Duggleby. Jack Frey. Will Hope. Edward Hopwood. Will Janaway. Ellie King. Oliver Leighty. George Locke. Lydia Morris. Ollie Osborne. Tom Richardson. Matthew Wake. Rebecca Whitfield. And Harry Woodall. The Foundation Science degree in Agriculture with Mechanisation to Samuel Blagg. Tristan Harris. And Dominic Northwood.
Water, I promise you. It gives me great pleasure to announce the awards for agriculture. Diploma of Higher Education in Agricultural Studies to Izzy Wilkinson. Bachelor of Science with Honours in Agriculture with Animal Science, top-up, Charlotte Cook. And Rob Lewis. Bachelor of Science with Honours in Agriculture with Animal Science, with First Class Honours, Beth Pickup. And with first class honours, Sam Ward. Megan Bezic. Lauren Butter. Ellen Giffin. Katie Gordon. Kirsten Henry. Annabelle Lee. Abby Lewis. Courtney Mitchell. Tilly Owens. Dan Smith. Charlie Townsend. Danielle Watts. And John Witter. Bachelor of Science with honours in Agriculture with Crop Management top-up, Ed Bonifaci. Bachelor of Science with honours in Agriculture with Crop Management with first-class honours, Harry Edwards. And with first-class honours, Lucy Fowler. Amelia Barfoot. Sam Britton. Eleanor Gilbert. Jess Griffiths. Sam Hall. Elliot Leeper. James Lockhart. Ross Reed. Tom Sandiford. Emily Sturgis Bowes. And Kat West. Bachelor of Science in Agriculture with Farm Business Management to Anna Crawley-White. Bachelor of Science with honours in Agriculture with Farm Business Management with first-class honours, Harry Parsons. Joe Bramley. Sam Davey. Oshin Dobson, Ed Fuller, Ed Hansen, Will Hayward, Billy Jones, Emma Jones, Owen Jones, Amelia Lee, Kieran McKeague, Cam Mould, Jack Nevin, Freddie Richards, sorry Freddie. Just for clarification, that was Freddie Richards. And this is Evie Rogers. Emily Salisbury. Toby Stavely Parker. Aled Thomas. Ifan Thomas. And Will Tomlinson. Bachelor of Science with Honours in Agriculture with Mechanisation with First Class Honours, Ed Francisconi. And with First Class Honours, Will Hallam. Archie Bit of a Boy Bennett. And Kit Jackson. Bachelor of Science in Agriculture, top up, Charles Metcalf. And Harry Troop. Any concealed weapons there, Harry, today? Bachelor of Science with Honours in Agriculture, top up, Shannon Dawes. Bachelor of Science with Honours in Agriculture with First Class Honours, Imogen Old. And with First Class Honours, Ollie Sampson. Ladies and gentlemen, those two are proof that there's more to come out of Harper than just a qualification. The two are a couple, and all I can say is, Imogen, thank you for keeping him on track. You've a lot more patience than I have. Ned Allen. Emir Anthony. Tony Baguli. Laura Beaton. Ed Birch. Lydia Brass. Tori Clayton. Katie Corner. Annie Cousins. Gwyn Riddock Davis. Ellie Duggins. Matt Fenton. Charlie Greaves. Finn Hales. Chris Hinch. I'd like to personally thank Mr. and Mrs. Hinch. That's, I believe, 2 of 3 who've come through here. Could have got a deal on those. Richard Jays. Lauren Jones. Ben Lewis. Max Living. Jess Locker. Jonathan McAleese. Sam McIntyre. Hannah Metcalf. Charlotte Nethercott. Amy Phillips. Owen Pratt. Ben Reed. Beth Ann Robinson. Marina Shirt. Erica Smith. Freya Smith. May Smith. Charlotte Vincent. James Warren. And Tom Williams. It was with great sadness that we lost one of our agrics, Jack Thomas, last July as he neared completion of his placement. Jack's parents, Richard and Rachel, are with us today. Academically, Jack was a bright student. In his second year, he kicked the ball hard and put it where he needed it for final year. And his academic performance was commended by the assessment board. I have absolutely no doubt that he would have been receiving a first-class honours degree today. But Jack wasn't just bright. He was diligent, conscientious student, always willing to help others. In group work, Jack would always keep the others on track to ensure that the work came in on time. And believe me, some of them needed it. But to Jack, Harper was far more than just the academic side. He loved his rugby, was always at the centre of the social events, and he had fun. It's a testament to the high regard with which he was held by his fellow students that so many travelled to Cornwall in March to attend the rugby tribute match held in Jack's memory, raising over £10,000 for charity. Jack secured one of the prestigious McDonald's Progressive Young Farmer placements with McCain's, and that was despite losing all his hair in a charity fundraiser for Movember the week before the interview. He was that good. From Cornwall to Harper would be a big step for many, but Jack thought nothing of heading further north to Scarborough for the McCain's placement. He wasn't afraid of a change or of challenge. At McCain's, he made a real impression and was regarded as exceptionally capable, whether it was analysing data, communicating with growers, or digging spud samples. In the words of his manager, a great unassuming young man, he was everything you wanted in a placement student, the perfect blend of raw intelligence, academic ability, but practically rooted and capable and not afraid to get stuck in. Jack embodied the true spirit of a Harper Agric. Work hard, play hard, passionate about the industry and proud of the family farm. Jack was my type of agric, and they're becoming a rare breed these days. The most important resource we have in agriculture is the people. It's the two-legged animals and the mindset of those animals that is key. Those individuals that are going to win in our industry will be those that are outward-looking, not afraid of change, can think outside the box, and who sees opportunities. Cornwall was all of these, and our industry is poorer without him. Jack's family would like to acknowledge the support they've received from you as students and the tremendous fundraising events organised by the students in Jack's memory. The rugby tribute down in Cornwall saw agrics at their best, if not on the rugby pitch. They got whipped. As you go through life, you'll be faced with challenges and unexpected events. If it can happen to Jack, it can happen to anyone. Please remember that there's no challenge that can't be overcome. No problem is too big to bring home. And whatever you do, bring yourselves home. Jack's parents have asked that a fellow agric accepts Jack's award on his behalf. So it's with great pride that I announce the award of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Agriculture to Jack Thomas and call on Max Living to accept the award on Jack's and the family's behalf. Congratulations to you all on your awards. You've been a fantastic cohort to finish on. You've made me so happy it hurts. That concludes the awards for agriculture. Big Dog has left the building.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is a great honour to be asked to say a few words in recognition of George Dunn's achievements today. George studied economics and agricultural economics at the University of Nottingham before completing a master's degree at Reading University. He worked as an agricultural economist at the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Food, fondly remembered as MAF by those of us of a certain age, followed by 3 years at the Country Land and Business Association, known to us all as the CLA, as a rural economics advisor, before being recruited to the post of Chief Executive of the Tenants Farmers Association in 1997, a position he has now held for 27 years. George has also been a member of the National Trust's Property Committee and its Rural Enterprise Panel, as well as serving as a National Trust Specialist Volunteer on land use and governance issues. He has also served as a trustee of the Farming Community Network, serving as its chairman for some of that time. George has been recognised for his tireless work on behalf of tenant farmers for over 25 years, fighting their corner, raising awareness of the issues that they face. He has promoted members' interests in tandem with making a huge contribution to the landlord-tenant sector and agriculture more widely. He has established himself as a key advocate for tenants' issues, as well as for farmers and the rural way of life. George has represented the TFA on the Rock Review Tenancy Working Group and the Tenancy Reform Industry Group, both of which have overseen substantial changes to the way that the landlord and tenant relationship operates. George was made an associate of the Royal Agricultural Societies in 2006 and a fellow in 2011. He was presented with the Farmers Weekly Lifetime Achievement Award in 2022 and the Outstanding Contribution to British Farming Award at the British Farming Awards in 2023. Vice-Chancellor, I present to you for admission to the degree of Doctor of Laws Honoris Causa, George Dunn.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I admit George William Dunn to the degree of Doctor of Laws Honoris Causa of this university. Congratulations, George. Thank you.
Wow. Oh, I just dropped my degree. There we are. It's the first mistake. No refund, they say. Okay, I'm very grateful for the opportunity just to say a few words in response to the tremendous, generous accolade that you have just bestowed upon me. Firstly, huge thanks to you, Vice-Chancellor, and to the wider Harper Adams University community for deeming me appropriate to be awarded an honorary doctorate of this eminent institution. I also want to thank my family for the space and unstinting support that it has provided to me for the work that I do, and I'm very pleased to say that my wife and eldest of my 3 daughters are here today to celebrate alongside me on the front row here. And part of that unstinting support was my wife driving me up this morning so that the work of the TFA could continue in the passenger seat of the car. But when Professor Sloan wrote to me last summer to explain that the Honorary Awards Committee of the university had selected me as a recipient of an honorary doctorate, I responded by saying I was surprised, I was humbled, but delighted in equal measures. The surprise was truly because I was not in the least expecting it, nor did I have any inclination that I would be in the running for such a special honor. Having been raised in the relatively humble surroundings of the terraced streets of East Belfast, it never ceases to amaze me that I'm looked upon as an advocate of our great agricultural industry, and in particular its vital and hard-working tenanted sector. My work within the Tenant Farmers Association and more widely within the farming and rural sectors has taken me to places and put me in the company of individuals that as a cheeky lad with a dubious school record, I couldn't even have dreamt about. In fact, I probably would have laughed at you had you told me of the experiences that I have ended up having. And I pray that I won't lose that surprise on a daily basis. It keeps me grounded, keeps me focused on task, keeps me grateful. However, as I've sought to be as diligent as I can be in putting one foot in front of another, in advancing the causes that I've been given responsibility to take forward, it is of course rewarding and humbling when others recognize the benefit of the work that you're doing and seek to shine their own light on it. It reminds me of the account of the parable of Jesus in the Gospel of Luke about not taking the best seats at a feast, better to take the lowest place so that when the host sees you, they can move you up to a better place. And for those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. So it's also humbling to be granted this amazing honor in the presence of you all as you harvest the benefit of your hard work in receiving your well-earned and valuable degrees. My congratulations to you all. And my delight in receiving this, it's truly wonderful to be able to add an honorary doctorate from Harper Adams University to my bachelor's degree from Nottingham and my master's degree from Reading, and I look forward to a long-running association with Harper, and in particular in assisting the university in delivering its 2030 vision, which, as you know, is together we will make the difference. And you all in this room have a role to play in this, and if you go away remembering just one thing that I have said, let it be this: make a positive difference. Many of you will be at the start of both successful and fulfilling careers. Make a decision today that wherever you find yourselves, you will make a positive difference. I referred to my surprise at some of the places I have ended up. However, some of the most special places that I have been are to the farm kitchens of numerous TFA members and other farm families throughout the country. These are truly hallowed places where both the complexities of business and family combine almost uniquely. It's the hub of the farm where decisions are made, worries are shared, successes are celebrated, business is done, meals are enjoyed, and life is recorded. They hold space for memories, deep memories that will resound around the walls for generations past and generations future. And many of yourselves will find yourselves in professional roles that will take you into these special places. And I would ask you, when you do, to remember the need, when you're there, to make a positive difference. Yes, you have a job to do, and you've got to do it well, but it's also important to put yourself in the shoes of those with whom you are engaging, so that whatever mark you leave will make a positive difference. In 2007, I was invited by Savills to address its assembled mass of professional land agents from around the country and a number of its selected clients at a Gloucestershire place of learning, which for obvious reasons shall remain nameless today. And it's where I first met my good friend and sparring partner, Clive Beer, who I have lovingly referred to as the nastiest landlord's agent that I've known. The nicest landlord's agent sat on the stage, actually, Mr. Peter Nixon here with the National Trust. However, I remarked to that audience that it wasn't often the case that a mere representative of the tenant proletariat got so close to a whole chapter of the Mayfair Mafia with its impressive list of landlord clients, and by its own invitation. And it seems today, if you were to have a similar circumstance, it would be the equivalent of inviting Kamala Harris to address the Republican National Convention. In advance of my attendance, I told Hugh Cohill, who was then the head of rural for Savills, that the title of my talk would be Landlords, Agents, Modern Day Pharisees. And I was asked whether I had intended to include a question mark with that. I said I advised that it was deliberately chosen as a full stop. It was a statement, not a question. However, I did assure him that my comments would be tongue-in-cheek whilst attempting to deliver a very serious message, and I'm sure Clive remembers it Well, I took chapter 23 of the Gospel of Matthew as my text when Jesus castigates the Pharisees and teachers of the religious law for their behavior and their treatment of people when they should have known better. He talked about being legalistic, about imposing heavy burdens without providing any assistance to bear those burdens, bigging up their own importance at the expense of others, being blockers rather than facilitators, training others to take a similar hard-nosed approach, sticking to the letter of the law rather than looking for pragmatic solutions, showing no mercy or empathy, saying one thing and doing another. In some respects, I'm quite surprised to be stood here to tell the tale, actually. But nevertheless, in my daily engagement with tenant farmers I represent within the TFA, stories of strained relationships as between landlords and tenants, more usually, I'm afraid, between landlords' agents and tenants abound. And it's often the case that contractual and relationship barriers get in the way of the development of resilient businesses or in forwarding plans that would improve environmental outcomes from tenanted holdings, or even just to ensure that the farm kitchen is a happy place for the family. I must admit to have been floored by the results of a survey carried out by the TFA a few months ago, which underlined the size of the problem that exists within the landlord-tenant sector within agriculture. We found that 30% of respondents to our survey felt bullied or harassed by their landlords, and 37% felt bullied or harassed by their landlords' agents. And 70% of respondents reported that they did not even have regular meetings with their landlords, which is no basis upon which to build a positive, collegiate, collaborative relationship. However, it is exceptionally good news, therefore, that the industry has come together to produce a government-backed code of practice for advising on conduct within the landlord-tenant sector of agriculture. And indeed, one of Harper's own, the great Charles Cowap, was the principal author of the code, and it was a pleasure to work with him on a working group established by the Farm Tenancy Forum on creation of that code. It's a shame in this day and age that we need a code which tells people how to behave, but it's clear that we need clarity around the rules of conduct. For too long, tenants have felt marginalized, mistreated, and the code of practice is therefore a major step forward for the sector. Whilst I'm not naive enough to think in itself the code will resolve all of the current problems, it will provide an important touch point and call people out for bad practice. And to my mind, it's all about the people. And I hope and pray that you will all have successful and fulfilling careers that enable you to meet your life goals, but do not forget the people with whom you come into contact. I often say that I work for the Tenant Farmers Association, not the Tenant Farming Association. At the end of the day, it's about the people more than the system. And as chair of the Farming Community Network, I led the organization through a change of name. It had been previously known as the Farm Crisis Network. Not only was that word crisis a barrier to those who should have sought support earlier, but did not see themselves in crisis, even though they clearly were. It was also a concern that we were focusing on the problem and not the solution. The solution is the people, the solution is the community, and the solution is the networks that exist within the farming communities. And what a great accolade to Jack and support for his family today, which moved me to tears. So if I can finish with one last scriptural quote from Mark 8, when Jesus said, "For what shall it profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his own soul?" Be successful, but also every day, in every way, make a positive difference. Thank you so much again for your kindness.
It gives me great pleasure to announce the awards for the engineering degrees. Master of Engineering in Agricultural Engineering with distinction, John Gildersleeves. Also with distinction, Archie Pendington. Charles Jackson. Harry Rigby. Rodri Williams. Master of Engineering in Automotive Engineering Off-Highway, with distinction, Ryan Hopper. Also with distinction, Samuel Withers-Lewis. Will Jasper. Ryan Kimber. Edwin Stretch. Luke Waldron. Master of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering, with distinction, Dominic Neal. Also with distinction, Frederick Ransford. Kelly Billington. Bronte Latham. James Rawbone. Diploma of Higher Education in Agricultural Engineering, Henry White. Bachelor of Engineering in Agricultural Engineering, Rachel Kellett. Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Agricultural Engineering with First Class, Harry Crunkhorn. Also with First Class, Jack Hewson. Griffith Evans. David Goodchild. Connor Mewburn Mercer. Cador Milburn Woods. William Nicholson. Brendan Quinn. Molly Robson. Bachelor of Engineering in Automotive Engineering Off-Highway, Sam Ashing. Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Automotive Engineering Off-Highway, Daisy Douglas. Imogen Hill. Finbar Wiley. Bachelor of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering, Tawana Faridza. Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Mechanical Engineering, First Class, Ellie Huxley. Also with First Class, Alice Unthank. Rhys Dakin. William Evans. Dashant Hans. Bridget Houston. Cayman Pavlov. Bachelor of Engineering with Honours in Food Engineering, First Class, Eden Pindoria. Also with First Class, Fraser Sudden. Mark Maguire. Ben Simpkin. Very well done to you all. That concludes the awards for engineering.
My colleague, Dr. Crockford, is unfortunately unable to be with us this afternoon. Therefore, it is my privilege to announce the awards for the Environment, Sustainability and Wildlife suite of programmes. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Environmental Land Management, Beth Ansdell. Amy Barnacle. Harvey Blowfield. Rebecca Churcher. Megan Edwards. Amy Harley. Alex Pearson. And Eleanor Whittaker. The degree of Bachelor of Science in Wildlife Conservation and Environmental Management, Spencer Chapman Shaw. The degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Wildlife Conservation and Environmental Management with First Class Honours, Francis Beedham. With First Class Honours, Chloe Boydell. With First Class Honours, Christo Bradstock. With First Class Honours, Amber Statham. Archie Comrie. Ellie Dono. Andy Ingalls. Zach Munden. Sam Parsons. Guy Phillips. And Hannah Slim. This concludes the awards for the Environment, Sustainability and Wildlife Suite of programmes. Many congratulations to you all.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is an enormous privilege to announce the Land and Property Management Awards here this afternoon. For the award of Bachelor of Science in Rural Enterprise and Land Management to Fergus Atkins. To Jack Howard. For the award of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Rural Enterprise and Land Management with First Class Honours, Liberty Baker. With First Class Honours, Maisie Evans. With First Class Honours, Lucy Hollins. With First Class Honours, Alistair Squires. Harriet Andrews. Rhea Orton. Charlotte Brodie. Jack Butler. Jessica Butler. Courtney Carter. Sam DeVille. Dan Dent. Philip Noble. Oliver Evans. Katie Goodman. William Gowler. Edward Hall. Chelsea Hawkey. Isabel Hinton. Will Jeffels. Dylan Johns. Alice King. Joshua Kitto. Harvey Lee. Georgie Lee. Will Norris. Oliver Philp. Ewan Ramsey. Sean Roberts. Megan Rogers. Catherine Sills. Tom Stewart Blacker. Holly Swift. Martha Waterfall. Lucy Wilson. For the award of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Real Estate with First Class Honours, Grace Hopkins. And with First Class Honours, Jenny Reid. Louis Green. Charlotte Hewitt. For the award of Bachelor of Science with Honours in Rural Property Management with First Class Honours, Tara Foster. Evie Boone. Dara Hunter-Blair. Annabelle Nuttall. Benedict O'Neill. Kieran Breen. Nina Purefoy. Jessica Robinson. Madeline Sinclair. Emily Yates. That concludes the awards, ladies and gentlemen, for the Land and Property Management Awards this year. I leave our graduates with these words of wisdom, that success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Congratulations and good luck to you all.
It gives me great pleasure to announce the Talk Postgraduate Awards, beginning with the Professional Master's Degree in Agricultural Science and Production Systems to James Moynan. The Master of Sciences in Agroecology with distinction to Daniel Mitchell. Also at distinction to Emir Williams. The Master of Science in Conservation and Forest Protection to David Reeve. The Master of Sciences in Entomology with distinction to Ella Curry. To Thomas Bluck. To Shana Broadhurst. To Ashby Roberts. To Ho Chi Wong. The Master of Science in Integrated Pest, Weed and Disease Management at distinction to Timothy Cope. And also at distinction to Elvis Veres Garcia. To Daniel Blake. And to Sigourney Konyeka. The Master of Science in Real Estate and Land Management at distinction to Stacey Micklemoyle. And to Alexandra Shawnee. The Professional Master's Degree in Real Estate and Land Management at distinction to Harriet Coop. And also at distinction to Henry Martin Smith. To Ross Brooks. To Georgie Buchanan Bailey Hamilton. To Gillian Dawson. To Zoe Downs. To Helen Gammond. To Annie Garner. To Catherine Jones. To Tate Langmead. To Catherine Mills. Amelia Preston. Emily Richardson. Catherine Roberts. Eleanor Smith. And to John Wigham. That concludes the awards for the Taught Postgraduate programmes. Many congratulations to all.
It gives me great pleasure to announce the award of Doctor of Philosophy for a thesis titled Understanding the Importance of Myrinositol Poultry Production to Charlotte Arthur.
I'm delighted and proud to announce the award of Doctor of Philosophy for Paul Chunga for his thesis entitled The Role of Agronomy and Variety on Tissue Integrity and Damage of Sugar Beet, Beta vulgaris, during production processes.
It's my great pleasure to announce the degree of Doctor of Philosophy for a thesis titled Understanding and Predicting Pen Fouling, Tail Biting and Diarrhea in Farm Pigs to Yuvraj Duman.
I'm absolutely delighted to announce the award to Sindanai Godfrey, Doctor of Philosophy, for the thesis title, Resistance and Susceptibility in Interactions Between Apple and Woolly Apple Aphids.
I'm very proud to announce the award for Doctor of Philosophy to Sarah Isley. Sarah did her work on pigs, funnily enough, and the title of her thesis was Investigation of the Refinement and Utilisation of Supplementary Milk in Sow-suckle litters and the effect on creep intake with reference to lifetime performance, pre-weaning behaviour and gut development. Thank you, Sarah.
It gives me great pleasure to announce the award of Doctor of Philosophy to Claire Price for her thesis entitled Investigating Biopesticides for the Control of Cabbage Stem Flea Beetle, Psiloides chrysocephala.
Vice-Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, firstly I would like to offer my congratulations to all of those awarded their PhD today. This is a significant moment in your careers and the culmination of a lot of hard work you have put in over the years. Your families, your supervisors should be hugely proud of your achievement and enjoy celebrating it today. So what is a PhD? A PhD stands for a Doctor of Philosophy and is an academic or professional degree that is the highest level of qualification a student can achieve. To obtain a PhD, students carry out a piece of independent research for between 3 and 6 years, depending on if they're doing it full-time or part-time. They produce a final thesis that has to be an original contribution to the subject they have studied. They are examined in an oral defence by 2 experts in the field, and this can take several hours. They say it takes a village to raise a child. I think it takes a community to gain a PhD. From your supervisors, technical staff, administrators, colleagues, friends and family, they will all have supported you on your journey. I'm sure you would like to join me in sending your thanks today. Harper Adams University awarded its first PhD in 2008, and since then, including today, we have made 132 awards of doctorates, 49 of which have been in the last 5 years alone. The students we have awarded have come from as many as 41 different countries, as far afield as China, Canada, Dominican Republic, Nigeria, many European countries, and all the home nations, and as close to home as Shropshire. This shows our truly international reach. These students have been funded by many sources who we are very grateful to. They include UK research councils, charities, industry, Harper Adams bursaries, and we've also had many self-funded students. Going forward, currently we have 64 active PhD students, and we're expecting a new cohort of 15 to join us on the 1st of October. Their areas of research cover a wide range of activities in the university, including crop and animal science, engineering, and the social sciences. We look forward to welcoming our new students and in a few years watching them walk across this stage as you have done today. Many, many congratulations to you all, and please enjoy the rest of your day. I would now like to introduce this afternoon's alumni speaker. Hakeem OJ is a board apprentice from the Farming Community Network. He completed their MSc of International Agribusiness and Food Chain Management, graduating from here in 2020. Hakeem has held diverse roles within UK agriculture, food and retail sectors. He's currently a member of the buying and procurement team at a leading food manufacturing company, honoured as one of the 20 talents in their 20s by the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport UK. Hakeem is also a McDonald's Breaking Barriers Scholar. I would now like to ask Hakeem to the stage.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Vice Chancellor, Professor Ken, esteemed faculty and staff, members of the administration, proud families and friends, and of course, the graduating class of 2024. What an incredible honor it is to stand before you all today. Returning to campus fills me with a deep sense of nostalgia, bringing back special memories and reigniting a unique sense of excitement. Today, I would like to share some reflections on life after graduation, the lessons I've gathered along the way, and a few insights on the exciting journey that lies ahead. Even though I spent just 1 year at Harper Adams University, my life changed for the better. I came all the way from Nigeria with a background in insurance after months of researching top agricultural universities in the world, determined to get the best education possible in my chosen field. After spending your respective years here at Harper Adams, I'm sure you all agree that I made a wise, albeit risky decision. Actually, everyone thought I was crazy. Since graduating in 2020, every room I step into, I am recognized as a respected professional once I mention the name Harper Adams University. As I now finalize plans to pursue a PhD, Harper Adams remains at the top of my considerations. I can confidently tell you all today, you have made the right choice. The lessons I learned at Harper Adams, particularly about the British agricultural and food system, continue to shape my work today. At Prep World, I'm proud to be part of a seasoned buying team sourcing the finest products from Britain's largest growers and around the world. This year, I've also had the privilege of working with the Board of Trustees and management of one of the UK's most renowned agricultural charities, the Farming Community Network, where I've been learning and actively contributing to the mental and physical well-being of British farmers. Here, on this very campus, I forged relationships that money can't buy. I built long-term strategic relationships, the best of which is with Femi, a fellow Nigerian master's student. Together, we took the knowledge gained at Harper Adams, combined it with our friendship, and built integrated area precision, an agri-tech company that has transformed the agricultural landscape of Nigeria, the most populous black nation in the world. In just over 2 years of operation, we have made an impact, improving the lives of smallholder farmers, championing climate-friendly practices, working with the country's biggest food producers, partnering with governmental agencies, and training over 10,000 youths in precision agriculture, in which 40% were women. I'm living my dream of transforming key food systems for the better. Remember, everyone thought I was crazy. So you see, no one understands the initial scribbling on the canvas except an artist. Everyone sees the beauty when it's done. Relationships, networks, connections, and respect. These are not the things you get directly from lecture rooms, but they are definitely earned by passing through our paradigms. To the class of 2024, congratulations. What you hold in your hands today is more than just a certificate. It is a legacy, a mark of recognition, and a badge of respect in our industry. Use it well. If it could work for me, it could work for you. The world is waiting for your contributions, and I have no doubt you will confidently fill those boots. Good luck, and thank you.
Class of 2024, on behalf of our whole community of teaching, support, technical and professional services staff, many congratulations on the qualification you have earned and which we are here today to celebrate. Your journey to this moment has been filled with countless challenges and some late nights. The path you forged here at Harper Adams has uniquely equipped you for success in the world beyond. As a result of our mix of high-quality applied teaching, award-winning academic and support services, and the invaluable contribution of our network of employers, a number of whom are with us today. It has been our privilege to support you throughout. As you start this new, exciting chapter in your life, remember that you are not alone. You're part of a family of Harper Adams graduates who have succeeded in many fields. Please stay in touch with us through our alumni network, attending community events, and by supporting and inspiring future students at Harper. Our alumni prove that your education here can turn you into leaders, innovators, and people who can make positive changes in the world. One such inspirational leader is Ellie, our Students' Union President during your final year with us. Ellie, can I ask you to come and give the vote of thanks?
Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, staff, families, friends and graduates, it is my honour to be standing here today to give the vote of thanks for the Harper Adams graduated class of 2024. As I was planning this speech, numerous ideas were running through my mind. The initial thoughts were something along the lines of, If someone told me at the beginning of my Harper career or my Harper chapter that I needed to walk across that stage, I would have balked at the mere idea of it. Then it struck me that I had the same thoughts back in moving in day in 2019 when I was moving into Bowie C. I was about to embark on a journey, a new journey, and make an investment in my future that would alter the course of my life. Now, to most of the graduating class sat here before me, the opening paragraphs of your Harper chapters, I'm sure, started with many of the same thoughts I had. If not, what have I done starting a degree in the midst of a global pandemic? It follows that 4 or more exciting, trying, wholesome, difficult, challenging, but rather enjoyable years later, that your Harper chapters have now concluded. The final paragraphs, I hope, reflect on the final and exciting year that we've had together, namely being victorious in the reinstated RAU varsity, the plethora of memories made in the Students' Union Bar, and the experiences shared in lectures, tutorials, clubs, societies, and year group activities, rather than the tears and late nights poured into meeting your deadlines. Today, before you close this chapter and commence the next, you should celebrate all that you have achieved and overcome during your time at Harper. Today, remember those in our community we have lost along the way or couldn't be with us. Today, take the opportunity to express tremendous gratitude to all of those who have contributed to your success as a student of Harper Adams. You were part of an incredible community that are so proud of you and all that you have achieved. With this, I should like all graduates to stand and cheer as I propose a vote of thanks. Firstly, thank you to our distinguished guests and speakers for making today's ceremonies welcoming and inspiring. Next, our thanks go to our Vice-Chancellor and our Board of Governors for ensuring that the university develops alongside its students and continues to uphold the highest standards despite the challenges it faces. You've got to cheer a little bit louder on the next one. Thirdly, to the lecturers who have led us into academic epiphanies, the support staff who've gone the extra mile to be there for us, and the unsung heroes who came to turn the fire alarms off in the middle of the night. Then to the Students' Union and your fellow graduates who have provided you spaces and opportunities to enjoy yourselves. And finally, please turn to the other side of the room. We're going to express our most deepest sincere thank yous, and therefore our loudest cheers, to our friends and family who have laughed with us during our best times, supported us during our worst, and finally told us to grow up when we didn't know which times we were in. Thank you to all. Good luck in commencing your next chapters with your new communities.
So I promise you there's only one more speaker after me, but I did mention before that it's a particularly special moment because Peter Nixon is coming to the end of his time as chair of our Board of Governors and as a member of our governors, and paid tribute to him earlier. But I'd like to give him a memory to take away with him. So I'm going to do 3 cheers for Peter before he gives his speech. So hip hip. Hooray! Hip hip. Hooray! Hip hip. Hooray! And a big round of applause.
Wow, what better memory than that? I shall take those 3 cheers with me, and I'll raise a cheer to it tonight.
Thank you very much, Ken, and thank you for your generous and kind words before. Thank you, Maisie. Ellie, for all that you've done with regard to your term of office as Student Union President last year. I can tell you from a governor's perspective, it's hugely important to have a great relationship with the Students' Union, and Ellie was very instrumental in achieving that for us. So thank you indeed for that. And thank you, Hakim, for your wise and really informative words. Very, very relevant to everybody here, particularly on the right-hand side of the room. My warmest congratulations to all of you on reaching the milestone today, referred to many times, but it's the culmination, I know, of a lot of hard work. I also hope it's been a lot of fun. But above all, I would say, nurture the friendships that you've built over the last 4 years. Those friendships will stand you in enormously good stead over the rest of your life if you take care of them. You will find that life gets very busy, and you may find it all too easy not to maintain those relationships. Don't. Keep at it, and you'll find that they reap a wonderful reward. I found in my own life, having gone through personal loss that was life-changing, that the support of friends from my university days was absolutely instrumental in helping me keep going. So I just share that with you. You have the world as your oyster. And my goodness, the world is in need of the skills that you individually and collectively have. Ken, in his introduction, referred to the tradition, I think, Ken, at Australian universities, of overtly acknowledging the mutual long-term relationship between land and the communities it supports. And that's a principle I think we would all do well to remember. However wealthy we may be in terms of land or possessions of any sort, we should all remember we are but life tenants. And we hold the land, its ecology, the relationships with communities in trust for future generations. The training you've had here, both in terms of technical skills and in terms of world life experience, will stand you in good stead to deliver that trust. And I say collectively, as well as individually, advisedly, because my experience of life is that everything, if you can only stand back and look carefully enough and listen, is connected. The challenge is seeing those connections. And that's why that logo, that principle upon which the strategy is based, written in large at the back of the room, do take a photograph on your camera as you go out so it's with you. Together, we will make the difference. That word together, George referred to the difference and positive difference, quite right. I would emphasize that word together. Togetherness is so important, because shared knowledge, working cooperatively, must be the way forward to meet the challenges, which are huge in terms of the world that you are inheriting. But I'm an optimist. With the skills and knowledge that you have, providing we all work together to make a positive difference, we will succeed. I have absolutely no doubt. I'm so pleased that George accepted the Honorary Award of a degree for two reasons. First of all, my own experience is that the farm tenancy sector is absolutely critical to our food supply and food security, and also to the social fabric of the countryside. When it works well, the landlord-tenant system is brilliant. Sometimes it doesn't, but that's human nature. But George has always been an advocate of maintaining good relationships between landlord and tenant, that mutual respect, even though George will always fight the corner of the tenants, quite rightly, but doing so in a way which respects the relationship with the landlord. So that idea of mutual respect and togetherness, even though you start from opposing positions in terms of where your financial interests might appear to be, at the end, they come together. And I like to think here in the context of sustainability, a definition of which I like is it's simply about harvesting any asset, not mining it. Why would we not want a perpetual yield from our relationships, from our land, from our ecology, from our finances. So working together on a long-term basis, looking at the chance to find common ground is something that I would simply say is a great way of managing your relationship with your clients, whoever they may be, and with each other. Together we will make the difference, and we'll do it by having generosity of spirit. Thanks, Ken, for those words earlier on. Thanks, Ken, and for all the staff, for everything they have done for you. Thanks to the Board of Governors, all of whom, as Ken said, are volunteers. And we all do it because we believe in Harper's purpose. Expressed very simply, I like to say to people when they ask, what am I doing and why am I doing this? I'm saying because it's helping to sustainably feed the world. And it's something that we all believe in, and recognising the interconnection between the land, ecology, animals, human welfare, with, as George said, human communities absolutely the heart of it all. And that is the great thing about Harper, its spirit. It's why I've loved serving here for 10 years, is the wonderful camaraderie, friendship, togetherness, which has made it such a positive and enlightening place to be involved with. I hand over to Dominic Wong. I'm just going to ask Dominic to wave his hand here. Dominic is an extremely capable successor. He very kindly stood in for me when I had a very difficult period in my life, losing my wife. He's been Vice Chairman for quite a while, and he, with the other board, will, I know, continue to support Ken and the team here in fulfilling the strategy. So, Dom, thank you for all your support. My final word to you is, and this is to you as the graduates, absolutely right to relish today, to thoroughly enjoy it. It's something to celebrate, but now look forward, and you can do both. So my advocacy to you to remember throughout life is cherish the past, but really relish the future. I stand between you and tea, so next on the item is the national anthem, before which my job is to formally close proceedings, which I now do. After the national anthem, if you could stay upstanding, please, whilst the formal procession leaves. And after that, do go out and very much enjoy yourself, and I look forward to seeing you out there. Thank you all very much.